Profanity Nation.
Profanity
Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation podcast, where we are the voice of the professional fan. As you can see, we are in our new studio, and we are here to award a new NFL Super Bowl champion, the Los Angeles Rams. Money Mike, Stat Pat, Simsta, yours truly. We are the Profanity Nation in our new studio.
It looking nice, dude.
We're loving it. We're looking good.
Infinity TV.
Profanity TV. Infinity TV. Infinity TV.
Radio. Headquarters. We got our own spot. We moving on up, y'all.
We are good.
That's
we are
what,
good.
you know. Hey, we going through all the technical difficulties, but it's gonna be a great show anyway.
It's gonna be a great show.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
So Stat Pat is our resident NFL specialist here, and of course, that was an incredible game today. We all saw it.
I was there.
Yeah, Money Mike was actually there.
A little bit.
And we're gonna talk to Money about that. He was at the game. Sort of.
A little bit.
Kind of. A little bit. And I know that's weird. I know that sounds weird. But Stat Pat.
Yo.
All right. So tell us about the game, of course. Sum it up a little bit. We had the Rams versus the Bengals. Nobody expected the Bengals to be there. Rams looking good. Everyone kind of thought until they went through that in November, but they kind of turned it around, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of the game? What did you see transpire there?
Well, you know, it was funny because like everything leading up the last 2 weeks is basically it was like the Bengals are just happy to be there, right? And everybody thought that the Rams were going to pretty much, you know, get on them quickly and then basically run away with the game. And when you saw the first drive, you kind of like, okay, here we go, like ready to put 7 on the board real quick, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, you know, it's look like. You know what I'm saying? It's a blowout, but you're looking at what's going to happen.
You were watching.
Yeah, you're watching for it.
Yeah, I was watching on, this is okay. All
yeah,
right.
and one thing about like when you play the Rams, you got to like get touchdowns. You can't really settle for field goals. So when it's 7-3, you're kind of looking at, you know, and then the Rams hit the ball again. And then it's like, all right, they score again. Luckily, and it's funny thing about it, like people don't understand, like when people miss those extra points, man, they loom large.
Oh, big time.
Large.
Big time.
And I hate for anybody with playing squares because that probably wrecked somebody just right there with that.
That was
That
at least
missed
that didn't
point.
change the over under though, I don't believe.
No, I think they actually and the spread was cool too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they scored, and once the turnover started to happen, once I think Stafford threw that interception and they went down and scored and it made it like 10-13. Then it felt like it was life in the Bengals. And then the halftime show came out. Then they come out and they do that one play, and then they go right on top of them and they take the lead.
Yeah, that came out
that
quick.
play though was kind of controversial because had the Rams lost that game, that play would have been magnified.
The face mask, correct?
The face mask
On Ramsey?
right? On Ramsey.
No question about it.
Let me just say.
Blown call.
Let me just say, I don't know what you were talking about. I didn't see none of that.
Yeah, Mike. Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, I know.
We got to
Go
fill
ahead.
Mike in on the game.
I don't know what happened.
So
How was
then-
that so far though?
Mike,
Yeah.
he was
But I
kind of.
don't know what happened.
But
Yeah.
I mean, long story longer. You know, they went to
That would have
go on
been
there.
questionable for years to come.
Yeah, but then of course, like so, it's pretty clean game both ways. You know, they go up top of them 20-16. The Bengals are winning all the way until we get to the last drive of the game for the Rams, and then that's when it gets kind of weird for me because. You know, we're not calling anything, and then all of a sudden we start calling little
Everything.
holding calls, start doing all
Ticky-tacks.
that, and it felt. And I'm look, man, nothing against any Ram fans out there. Obviously, I'm sporting my Raider hat, no matter who playing in the Super Bowl.
You weren't
But-
winning.
But why does that have to happen there? And you are basically leaving the door open for speculation. And I mean, I know it's not quote unquote rigged, but you can't be calling these calls right then when you look back at the tape. I mean, it was long. I mean, there was no hold on Cup right there, and that would have made it fourth down. Now, if they would have scored or scored on fourth down, that's a whole other thing. but they didn't. They rewarded them with extra downs, and before you know it, they basically gifted them a
You
touchdown.
know what though? We know we had ref. Was it Reed? Correct.
Yeah.
We had ref Reed on the show here, basketball ref, and he said absolutely true. There are makeup calls, and they missed the face mask. They saw that the league let that go. The refs are gonna make up for it in the end. It's all
You got to
fair.
make up for that junk earlier though. Than that. You know what I'm saying? The last
Yeah.
2 minutes of the
Yeah,
game,
when-
driving for the game winning time for the Super Bowl. But look, at the end of the day, the Bengals had other opportunities to put more points on the board. They didn't, and they left the door open for the Rams to go down there and get that touchdown and win the game.
Money Mike. I know you didn't watch the game, but you do know who the quarterbacks were in the game. You got Joe Burrows and you got your boy Stafford in there. We had a lot of retirements this year.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks, a lot of legend quarterbacks stepping down. Looks like the league's in pretty good shape, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. First of all, Joe Burrow, man, like this
Yep.
dude literally was the second year. They won 2 games last year, then they're back in the Super Bowl. My favorite shirt, my favorite statement shirt on the profanenation.com, you can go get it, is Heart Over Talent. He has that. You know what I mean? He has that heart, and he knows how to take a team. He got Jamar Chase, who was this LSU buddy at LSU, so they teamed up, and Chase. They thought Chase wasn't, what they say, he wasn't going to even be good enough to be in the league, and
He was good.
literally made the Pro Bowl, as a rookie, and Joe Burrow just rolled them all the way to the Super Bowl. So he has a really, really bright future. Same thing with Bradford. I mean, like, look, I knew that dude had heart when he dislocated his shoulder, with Detroit, and came back in, popped it back in place, and threw a touchdown pass later on. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, that dude's gonna be somebody.
Yeah.
And it's obvious it's Detroit, not the quarterback.
Right.
That's why. Could you imagine if Megatron, what I mean? Because Megatron was over there in Detroit.
Yep.
Why is it like that though? Why does Detroit get like a Barry Sanders and just waste their career? Why?
I know.
What is the loyalty like? With that? Because look, like, Barry Sanders could have won how many Super Bowls? Megatron could have won how many Super Bowls? But they just stayed over there in
Mhm.
Detroit. And then and you see Goff over there, and he sucks too. It's just, I think it's Detroit's franchise.
Yeah, it's the Lions is really a bad franchise to go to.
Right. They're worse than the Clippers.
The only thing is kind of cool.
I don't know about that.
I mean, well,
They're the Clippers of the NFL, we'll say, but I don't know if they're worse than the Clippers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right. But this was a great game. The Rams came out on top, but nobody expected Cincinnati to be where they were this year. Where does that put them next year? Does that mean that they're going to over exaggerate and, they're definitely Super Bowl front? I mean, what's going to happen?
Okay,
there?
they're not going to be Super Bowl front runners because Mahomes still plays in Kansas City. Also, Josh Allen is with Buffalo Bills, and they look great too.
Everyone's getting better,
and everyone has youngish quarterbacks right now. The next generation is stepping up. We have Herbert right there in San Diego Chargers. Also, we have there's another quarterback I'm thinking of. I mean, the AFC have like 4 of the young, hot, up and coming quarterbacks coming through with Joe Burrow, Herbert, Mahomes, and also what I said, Josh Allen. So, but they're good. They are good. They have their weapons. One thing that surprised me about the Super Bowl is that a lot of people didn't think that they were going to be able to play the kind of defense they did to stop the Rams. And that was surprising. The fact, but Eli Apple is their DB, and Eli Apple is like, he's cool, but he played with the Saints, he played with the Giants. It's his third team. But it's usually a third team. When you're that young, is your third team it's for a reason. And he did give up that last, touchdown to Cooper Kupp. But not too many people can guard Cooper Kupp nowadays.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put too much stock in that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into Money Mike's experience. Okay, so as we mentioned, we just touched a little bit on it. Money Mike was at SoFi. Money Mike was at the Super Bowl, but Money Mike didn't get to watch any of the actual Super Bowl game itself. Fill us in, Money.
So I had a bright idea I said, you know what? I want to go to the Super Bowl, but I want to pay like $5,000. So I said, well, what if I got a job working the halftime, right? So I got a job working halftime, $15 an hour. For the last 2 weeks, I've been, going 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every night. I've actually saw the show probably about 20 different times.
The
halftime show. I saw the halftime show about 20 different times. Snoop, Mary, Kendrick, everybody was there. Eminem, they all were there. For every dress rehearsal. It was like always amazing every time I saw it. And I had a bright idea and say, yo, if I get into the stadium, maybe there's a way I can figure out how to stay into the stadium, right? After halftime, right? So all week I've been casing the joint, right?
Right.
I'm out here trying to figure out how I can, go around looking at like the possible security checks. I'm looking at the passes, the all access passes that they're giving. And then, so on Monday, I'm like, okay, cool. I can duplicate that pass. All I got to do is get past the security. I'll be good. Man, by Tuesday, they gave us these little wristbands. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, just show your wristbands to them. You walk right through. Man, by Wednesday, they changed the all the criteria, the credentials. They had pictures on them now. All of a sudden, my wristband was beeping. You had to beep yourself in. They had your profile. I'm like, oh man. So my
had you on lockdown.
Yeah, I was like, oh, security's getting tight.
So you thought you were going to go to the Super Bowl and watch the second half?
And listen to y'all. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell y'all. See, Pat, I'm gonna tell you the story, man, because you ain't gonna believe it. So, I'm talking me and my homeboy. We're working and we're pushing the carts out. We're taking. By the way, let me tell y'all what cart I was. So if everybody watched the Super Bowl, mine was the most important cart, right? I was the one I pushed out was that round circle right behind Snoop Dogg's house. The one that kind of just sat there that had the orange lit flame thing.
Yeah, no.
That's all me. That was me right there.
Yeah,
that was me. I pushed that one out. Y'all saw the house and it was a little small little circle.
I didn't see it.
Like right there in the back. That's all me right there. That was all me. But anyway, me and my 7 other partners. That was cart number 28. Whoop, whoop. So anyway,
shout out cart 28.
Yeah, shout out to cart number 28. Shout out to cart 28. Yeah. So look, real quick, long story short, I'm over here trying to figure out how we gonna get in. We've been going in and out the same time. Like, man, they're not checking this, they're not checking that. Okay, cool. I got it, right? So the day of, I kept on telling my homeboy, I said, man, we're gonna be like Eminem. We got one shot. We get that one shot, we're gonna take it. We're gonna get that one shot, we're gonna take it. So we walking down in there, and they took us a whole nother way. It was a whole nother way walking into the stadium. We've been practicing all the other stuff. And
now
all
it's
of a sudden,
secret entrance.
We're going through a whole nother entrance. We're going through a tunnel. We're going left, right. We're going left, right. And then all of a sudden, we get to a stop where we're one above where we're going to be like on the ground where the field is, right? And I start seeing all these people. They start going to the door, right? For my people, my field, we call the field team. They all going to the door. So I'm looking like, well, hold on. Let me see if I can go there. They got the dude from guest services right there at the door. He ain't stopping nobody. Door opening, people walking through. Door opening, people walking through. So I walked through too, right? I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna act like I went to the restroom. You know what I mean? It was a little bit of line. For the men's restroom, was a line. And then I'm looking behind me like, this is my chance. And I froze. And when I froze, they opened the door and said, come on, guys, we got to keep on going. And I walked back to the tunnel to go do the halftime show. If I would have kept going, I would have got at that Super Bowl for free and just been at the concession stand. I didn't have a ticket. So
yeah, you know what?
But
you
they
told
have
me
standing room there.
Yeah, you told me how you were going to do it, man. That was pretty perfect. Like you said, if all you had to do is go to this concession stand and get some and drink some Pepsi, like the whole way, like dude, like
Pepsi, give us a call. We are accepting sponsors.
Look, man, for sure.
Yeah.
The fact that you would have done that, I think you would have got away with that. Because I thought that's pretty genius. I'm like, you just go over there because everybody hang out at the concession stand.
And you did have other shirts on, right?
I got a Ram shirt over here.
You got the Ram shirt on.
I have a different mask. My plan was to go to the restroom, pop out my little halftime shirt. You know what I mean? Take my wristband off.
Like Superman, you're going to go into the phone booth
and then I was going to walk in. Like I was going to walk in and blend in, and I could have. And here's the thing, though, you be worried about it because they got your social security number and your employee number and all the other stuff, and they got us. They were telling us that our band was attached to us. Man, when I tell you they didn't scan nothing out, and they literally, and maybe I
They
shouldn't
wouldn't
say
have
this,
known.
maybe I shouldn't say this, man.
So,
Look, they use us like I'm gonna just say it like this.
like a herd.
When they were done,
they was done.
they dropped us off on Prairie and said, "Well, you ain't gotta get back on the bus, but you can't come back in here." When we were done, they just dropped us off on the street. They said we can get back on the bus if we want, but you ain't got to. You ain't gotta go back.
We done with you.
Yeah, they said you gotta come. You have in order to come, you have to come on the bus. But
As far as getting home, that's up to you.
they
But they did give you offer a ride, but you didn't have to take
They
it.
offered a ride, right?
But
They
you
offered a
didn't have
ride.
to
They
take
offered a ride. We ate Panera Bread or Jersey Mike's every day. I was so tired of sandwiches. And then they fed us twice a day. They gave us it was almost like maybe a day old pizza or something. You know, that was it. So that was my halftime experience. But let me just say, y'all, though, in all seriousness, man, it's something that I would recommend that everybody does at least one time.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like I'm literally on the field.
Yeah, no.
I'm on the field.
No.
Why not? Why not, Jeff?
You missed the whole game.
Dude, I saw Snoop. I was on the field. I mean, do you understand? I'm buying the speakers that they're using to do. I'm listening. Look, I'm watching the show, and it's one thing when you watch the show in rehearsal. It's another thing when you know 50 Cent about to come upside down, and you hear that roar of the crowd. You know Eminem about to come up, and it's about to explode, and then you hear that roar of the crowd. You're right. You're like right there with those dancers, like on the field. And these are people that I love. Come on, man. I gotta go to Clubhouse. Hey, who on Clubhouse? Blink your mic. Who on Clubhouse would
Work
work
2 weeks.
Work 2 weeks.
Miss watching the actual game.
Miss watching the actual game, but being there to see
the
Snoop
halftime
Dogg,
show.
Eminem, 50 Cent, Mary, everything. Blink your mic if
Let's
you
see
have a
if
comment on
anyone's
that.
there supporting Money Mike
Let
in
me see.
his journey to work over there.
Okay, Crispy, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I'm gonna risk missing the Super Bowl just to work during the halftime show. I don't know if I take that risk, man. The Super Bowl is like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to go
Thank
to.
you.
The tickets are so expensive, man, for the average person. So yeah, I'm not missing the Super Bowl. I
Thank
can't
you.
do it.
Thank you.
Hey, Crispy, well, let me ask you: Would you work it to try to sneak in? Like
Oh,
the
absolutely.
scenario I gave you. The
You're creating a
scenario I
nightmare
gave you,
for Super Bowl
would
halftime
you,
show workers.
would you have like kept on walking?
I would have kept walking, Mike. I ain't gonna put my head down. I'd have kept pushing, man.
Just catch me, man.
That's the reason to be there is for the actual game.
Yeah, that's why I'm mad about that. All right, cool. Anybody else?
Anybody else got something to say for Money Mike over there from Clubhouse? Of course, we love that support over there.
Okay, go ahead, Tully.
Today's Super Bowl win was kind of well deserved. I think honestly, any of us, including myself, because I worked to have the whole Super Bowl because I didn't work tonight, and tonight was well deserved. I think both teams put in great effort, but with some of the injuries that the Bengals had, I think like that's what kind of messed them up toward the end. And I think tonight was well deserved. It was a great time, and it was fun. The halftime show was awesome. I think it could have went a little bit better. Awful.
That's because Money Mike worked on that thing.
Well, let's talk about that, man. What did you not like about the halftime show?
Look, he's taking it personal. He brought out stage number 28. He's taking it personal.
Right? No.
Right.
I know you like. I know you like the circle. I mean, that was perfect. But what did you not like about the halftime show?
Like is how 50 Cent looks thicker than usual.
He was a little we were
hasn't-
talking about how he'd been eating
He hasn't
good.
been missing any meals.
Yeah.
And he looks like he just got out of a state penitentiary.
Well, I mean, that's how he always looks.
All right.
Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you this: like the uproar, 50 Cent we had the NDA, wasn't supposed to tell what was supposed to happen. But everybody amongst that knew that 50 Cent was the special guest. Everybody was saying should have been Ice Cube. Everybody was like, "Where's Ice Cube?"
Should have been Ice Cube.
Yeah, like that was like the consensus. Like, man, Ice Cube should be doing the show.
Okay, so let me ask anybody that said that. Okay, fine. This was literally an aftermath party.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was
Yeah, of course.
aftermath. It was Interscope. Ice Cube ain't did nothing on that when it comes to
Interscope.
that. Now he did NWA stuff, but we're not talking about NWA. We're talking about Jimmy
Yeah,
Iovine.
yeah, we're not talking about that.
You know, so we're talking about
Talking about,
all
like,
of
the
the
whole-
stuff from Aftermath, all of that stuff. So to me, it's logical for 50 Cent to be there because of the fact
Because
that
he's on
if you're
Dre's
going to
label.
have Eminem there, and you're going to have Mary J there, and you're going to have Dr. Dre there, who's the other biggest artist that Dr. J has worked in the past? I mean, other than those people we were just talking about, other than Snoop Dogg and Eminem, it's going to be 50 Cent. So yes, Ice Cube is LA.
That's right.
But Ice Cube, where would he fit in if we're talking about the continuity and we're talking about is what he just going to, he's just going to do a song. I mean, I love Ice Cube. I like NWA. That would have been the old school. But if you bring NWA out, I mean, you bring out Ice Cube, you got to bring out NWA.
That's what I was gonna say.
You got to bring out everybody.
You should have
You gotta
done
bring out
whoever's
Ren.
left.
You got to do all that.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
they could have done that. That would have been sweet.
You know what's funny though? I heard a rumor today about that. That Warren G was really upset
That he didn't.
that he wasn't part of it. But I got to thinking about that. Like
Yeah,
Warren
no.
G always getting screwed by Dr. Dre. So.
But at the same time, let's be real though.
I mean, we like it.
But no.
But
Let's talk about it. Like, I like. But it's like, okay.
There are a lot of people.
But
who
let
get
me
on
tell
that.
you this: like when
A lot of people.
okay, look, all right. So I love Warren G too, right? But if we gonna keep it a buck, think about it. Like if we're talking about Regulate, who the star of Regulate?
Yeah,
Who started Regulate? Who's the star of that song? It ain't
Nate.
Warren G, and that's Warren G's biggest song is Regulate.
right.
So if we're talking, we really about to be like, okay, Warren G, you mad that you ain't on there? No, bro, you got to bring Nate Dogg, and Nate Dogg ain't coming. Okay, so
Unless it's a
rest in
hologram, right?
peace.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, you have, for me, I don't see how you could be mad about it. If anybody, it probably would be Ice Cube. If anybody would be that way. But but other than that, man, I thought it was good. Of course, it's for us Gen Xers, and it was our pretty much our Super Bowl halftime show. I know the younger kids, like, they probably thinking like, man,
No. The younger kids love Dre. All that music is timeless, and they appreciate it. I thought it was quirky, honestly. Like,
What?
first of all, yeah. Look, if Eminem is doing like choreography where he's like kneeling down and holding this till Dre finishes his piano, that's quirky because Eminem doesn't do choreography, dude. That shit right there is quirky. I don't know. That was
I'm
just
gonna tell you
weird.
what's quirky about me. I swear I probably saw that show like 20 times. You know my favorite part of that show every time
What?
was when Mary J. Blige fell down and kicked her legs up. Like that was like my,
yeah, and they gave you an aerial shot of that.
yeah.
too.
I was like, but it
I
was so
like-
funny to me when she did it. But you know what? We're gonna get off the Super Bowl because we gotta
Yep.
go talk about this trade.
No, we don't
gotta
have
talk
to.
about it.
Do we?
But
Okay, we will.
look.
All right.
Today,
The NBA trade deadline has come and passed, and we will talk about
yeah.
that.
So today I realized that piano that Dre was sitting at
Yes.
was not a piano.
Our producer, Doug Cody, he's like, man, if you think he's really playing that
Man,
right now.
listen, I
Call that.
went to that cart and I looked underneath and there were no chords. in it. There were no
Secrets.
chords.
Secrets.
I'm like, wow.
Why are you airing it out?
I'm like,
that,
yo,
man?
is this just a keyboard that they just plugged in to make it look like it? So that dude, I'm just letting y'all, I'm giving y'all spoilers now. The NDA is over. I'm no longer working for the NFL. He literally did a very good acting job because I was convinced
That's funny.
until I looked
That's
underneath the piano and
That's
saw no
funny.
chords at all.
Let me ask you this:
Wow.
the was it just the field that was covered with something? It looked like the city. It looked like
Yeah, it was the city of Compton. That was
what-
the goal.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole. It
Yeah,
was
so if you notice at the very beginning, like if
Uh-huh.
you recorded it, it was on Dre's hand, and then he basically put it on the field.
Oh, okay.
Didn't notice that one. That
At the
didn't
very
come across.
beginning. Well,
That
okay.
didn't come across.
Everybody who recorded the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
you'll notice when they say, we're going to welcome Dr. Dre, and he comes in there, and it was in his hand, and he opened his hand up, and that image is the same image that's on the field.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
his
yeah.
heart and soul
Yeah,
and
so-
such. Okay.
Speaking of that field, real quick, dude. I know this is going back to the game, but I think it's embarrassing for the SoFi to be in Los Angeles and have turf. You know, I mean, that makes
this
no
weather?
sense, especially the way that this Super Bowl came out, and to see Odell Beckham Jr. get hurt because of the fact that there was turf. There's absolutely no reason for there to be turf in Los Angeles. It's California.
I agree
Like,
with that.
it makes no sense, dude. Like, just roll out some grass.
Yeah, I
They
agree
can do
with
it in
that.
Vegas. They can do
Yeah,
it.
that's what I said.
Exactly.
Because when you say roll out some gas, literally that's what Vegas does, and that's what Arizona does. Where the next 2 Super Bowls are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is in Arizona, and next one's in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
so yeah.
I just want to say that.
All right, excellent,
All
guys.
right.
Okay, let's move on to the subject at hand. Let's move on to the NBA. The NBA trade deadline has come and gone, guys, and we expected big things from the Lakers, and of course, we've got our nothing. We got zilch.
You got nothing.
The Lakers did nothing, but we knew that they were not in a position to do much, but we still hoped and prayed that some sort of magical Kwame Brown for Pau Gasol was going to come out of nowhere. It didn't happen, Stat Pat. And what were you thinking as the trade deadline came and passed and the Lakers just stood still?
Well, I wanted to see if the Lakers in the front, the Stars in the front office was like, what if they were on the same page, you know? What I find really funny is after the trade deadline went on and we didn't make any moves, all of a sudden you start hearing the stories about how AD and LeBron was consulted by Pelinka, and Pelinka's lying and all this other stuff. And I'm more of the fact, like, look, man, if you don't cry about the roster you created, you pretty much with Jeannie Buss and Rambis at this point basically are making these moves. You guys wanted Westbrook here. Westbrook is here.
Traded the farm for it.
Okay. Now the guy is literally trying to be a GM and not trying to trade Westbrook or any other package with a first round pick. And fools are mad at him because he doesn't want to go ahead and mortgage the future or mortgage what's left of the future that we do have. So, and if you notice, after the trade deadline, the Lakers are able to trade Westbrook plus a 2027 first round pick and the 2029 first round pick. So it's your options are going to be more but they were trying to salvage this season that they basically didn't take seriously for the whole season. And now they're trying to go ahead and try to, at the 11th hour, to try to salvage this season and try to scrape around some kind of weird roster just so they can make a fake push on
A fake push
championship.
for the playoffs.
Because they're not going to win anything. Everybody like a healthy AD or healthy LeBron. Okay, let me see it. Because last night, what happened? They played the Warriors, and what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, so they played a team. They played against a dameless, Blazer team, and then lost. So you tell me, like, how are we going to really believe that a marginal player would have made us go over the hump? Maybe I'm wrong, but
that's not happening. Money Mike, Anthony Davis was quoted as saying that he was relieved when the trade deadline came and passed. Now, why is he worried? What was he worried about? And why is he relieved?
Well, I think everybody had, there was so many rumors that go out. You never know what's true. I know that they did have him in the equation of a possible trade, things like that. Look, I think AD is a cat that's kind of satisfied with having one ring.
He's full.
And he likes to be on the Lakers because he's in sunny California. That's just like my feeling about him. The thing to piggyback on what Pat's saying, like, look, when you put this team together, you were literally going, and this is what always the Lakers do. They go for name brand versus, what the needs are. And so when they're at the name brand,
that's what the Mitch Kupchak started doing towards the end of his tenure with the Lakers. Jerry West got the star, but also built the teams around those stars.
Yeah.
Kupchak started that and then kind of left that formula behind when Jimmy Buss got in charge, and we haven't seen it since.
Yeah. And now everything is like, because LeBron is in the air and he kind of wanted to taste with who he wants to play with, what he wants to do. I just hate the whole concept of everything that's kind of like going on, because we're not making a team for the needs. like if you look at like old school, they was like, yo, we got Jordan, we got we got Pippen. We
now
need
we
some
need
defense.
this, we need
We need
that.
some
Yeah.
defense and some rebounds. Hey, we know Rodman is crazy, but he fits. He
Mhm.
checks off those boxes.
Mhm.
Do you think Rodman would be a good fit? Because he does this. He don't want the ball. He don't want to score. He plays defense and gets rebounds. Do you think we can make all this work? The answer is yes, right? It's not, but with us it's like, hey, I got my homeboy over here, Carmelo, that I always wanted to play with. No shade on Carmelo because he's basically
He was our
been
most
the best.
consistent player to start the season. So
But
there's no
we
shade on
literally
that.
have Buddy Hield and DeRozan that's begging to come over here, and they actually would have been a better fit.
Oh yeah.
But we
Not to mention a start towards the future without
Absolutely.
LeBron.
Absolutely.
So it just is all wrong.
Yeah.
Cam Payton from the Suns was quoted in Twitter Spaces saying, "We're not afraid of LeBron. Nobody's afraid of LeBron."
Yeah, I believe that.
Well, it's funny, but see,
I don't believe that's just talk anymore.
but okay. So at this point, you gotta see the Phoenix Suns feel that they have a little bit of momentum, right? Feel that they're the best in the West. They got a great record.
They've been there.
They've been
the
there,
show.
so now they want to go back to where they were last.
They have a
year.
swagger.
Now they have a swagger, and he's
Deal.
the most talkative one, right? So he is that guy. He was that guy last year. He was the one that came down when Paul was kind of hurt. He came there. He pretty much lifted them and kept them afloat. So he got a lot to say. At the same time, he knows, and we all know, that they were pretty much an AD injury away from getting the hell out of there in 5 games. But we're going to, if with the 5th, you know what I'm saying? You can't really say that. It's what it is, right? But what I'm saying, though, when it comes to the Phoenix Suns, is they really they have everything they need to go through. But I'm looking at the East now, and are you that much better?
The East has definitely caught up.
The Nets now, are you that much better
Than the Bucks.
than the Bucks or the Sixers?
The Sixers
Like,
now.
because I'm like, you have Aiden, you have your guy there, your
Aiden's
guy.
great, but he's also
He is going to get destroyed by Embiid.
just like he did.
And
by,
I know this,
Yeah.
and if Harden is cooking,
Well, he was getting destroyed by Davis until Davis went down.
right?
correct?
So
Yeah.
it's what it is. So yes, look, man,
They
you know
do have
how it
JaVale
is.
back
You
there
know how it
to
is,
take some
man.
fouls.
When the Lakers are down,
Everyone
got to
comes
start
knocking.
poking and start talking their stuff. But it's what it is, man.
All right, we want to hear
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Clubhouse. Anybody in Clubhouse has something to say? I know you do because this is the Los Angeles Lakers fan club in Clubhouse. Come on, guys, tell us what we got to do to get through this season. Tell us what you were thinking or hoping was going to happen at the trade deadline. Go ahead and flash your mics.
All right, Talib, let me hear from you.
All right. So basically, after what I just got done hearing from you guys, and I'm actually quite disgusted. How you guys are sitting up here saying how no one's afraid of LeBron. I'm actually going to quote you guys disgusting and wrong on that part because here we go. LeBron is from LA. LeBron is the king of LA. To me, that's my defense. And the reason why is because somebody that has been around the league for so many years now, for so long, in and out of the league, and knows what he's doing, sometimes he doesn't.
He's going in and
He's
out.
going-
He's
no.
going in and out.
Yeah, talking to your mic. Your mic's
Talking to
going in
mic,
and out.
You're
But
going to go in and out. But I disagree with everything you're saying right now. You say he was the king of LA, right? But go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
we lost him.
Oh,
Okay.
hey,
Well,
I want him
tap
to get
in.
back. I want him to get back in because I wanted to hear what he had to say.
I
Yeah, come
did
back
wanna
in.
hear.
Tap back in. So go ahead and tap
tap-
back in when you tap your mic.
Talib,
All right.
You-
So he was trying to talk about LeBron, and he was trying to say that LeBron's the king of LA. Now,
yeah, he's not the.
I just want to hear his point.
Yeah, I do wanna hear
I want him to fill it out, and
I do too. I
is
do.
he still there? Go ahead and flash.
Go
your mic.
ahead. Go ahead and try again, man.
No, I don't hear him. All right. Nope, he's not there.
Okay, no
okay,
problem.
he'll come back. No
He's not
problem.
there.
All right.
Anybody else?
Anybody else from Clubhouse got something to say about our Los Angeles Lakers and this trade deadline and what's going on?
All right, go ahead, Crispy.
I was honestly hoping for a trade, but deep down inside me, I knew he wasn't going to do anything. I felt like we were waiting for the buyout market. Now that the trade deadline is over, I know we're waiting for the buyout market, even though it's not much on it. I don't think there's any players that's going to come in and change the dynamics of our team right away, like we desperately need. It's going to take a lot of commitment from the guys that we do have, especially in the defensive end. I need all guys to commit. And I need also, guys to be holding themselves accountable as well. LeBron, the greatest player in the world, he missed those free throws. If he makes them free throws, the game goes into overtime. We got a chance to win it. So, yeah, everybody is held accountable in our squad. I don't care how big of a superstar you are, But yeah, we gotta keep focused, man. We gotta keep focused for sure. I think we still can make some noise. We're only 9th in the West, about 5.5, 6 games out of 5th place. So yeah, I mean, we still can make some noise.
All right, Crispy, I'd love to know. We didn't make anything, nothing big on the trade deadline. We're hoping maybe something in the buyout market, but there's nothing big really going to happen there. What exactly are we hoping is going to happen this offseason that's going to turn this team around? What exactly? Westbrook's gone. Trevor Ariza gone. What are we hoping? If they continue with this formula of putting the team together, it's not going to work. Can we agree with that, Crispy?
Yeah, we definitely can agree with that, Jeff. I feel like we got to get rid of Russ. That's the bottom line of it. I don't know how we're gonna pull it off, but we gotta get rid of Russ and possibly replace him. If Kyrie can accept playing with LeBron again, I think that'd be a dope reconnection there. Because I know he's a free agent this offseason. So yeah, we need a higher caliber point guard to come in and actually be a point guard for our squad. We haven't had a true point guard since like Magic and Derek Fisher. Man, we need a point guard.
Now, on the buyout market, Money Mike, we hear that it's a potential that Goran Dragic will be out there. How do you feel about that?
I mean, what's he gonna do? Like, that's a whole nother guard. We're gonna give him time over Westbrook, probably not, because I guess Westbrook got seniority in 44.
But he's a ball handling guard, more, right?
He is, but I hate to say I give up on the season, but I mean, all season we've been talking about, okay, what about the next 20 games or the next 10 games? And every milestone that we put in place has been a disappointment.
Yeah, but we also keep dropping the bar. We're like even Crispy said, well, we're in 9th.
Yeah,
and
so
we can only
we're talking about making the playoffs.
If we get into the playoffs.
Listen, if we literally saw, I'm a Raider fan like Pat. We literally saw the Chargers and the Raiders go toe to toe overtime, and the Raiders win the game and make the playoffs. And they got eliminated the next week. They might as well have not won the game, as far as I'm concerned.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
Like, why even like the Chargers actually got the best? Because we already knew, okay, cool, they're not gonna win. Like if you're gonna go, there
was the disappointment, wasn't it?
So it's championship or bust, regardless.
Yeah, right. I mean, why are we going to the playoffs if we're not trying?
Okay, so this is why I have.
We are the Lakers. Dude.
I have. So this is when it comes to me being a fan of multiple sports, like the expectation I put on my Lakers, I cannot just give that to other teams I follow.
I agree. Like,
so if I'm going to use that, what you're just saying is that the Raiders get in there and I'm going to judge them like I judge my Lakers. That's unrealistic because they're not really, those expectations are not there for that team. If they were, if our team was, the Chiefs, I'll be disappointed right now. I'm looking at that game like, I know we could have probably beat the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're looking at the Super Bowl, they should be disappointed. The Raiders just like, oh, okay, yeah, well, we were just happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the Lakers.
However, that's what they said about the Bengals too.
One thing about they
made it to the Super Bowl.
Goran Dragic, what he can do is get us Luka.
Yeah,
that's what he can do.
Hey, I like
that's what he can do.
And then when LeBron could be gone, right?
We need to go ahead and work on that. And if he want to play with his son, look, and this is another thing. I'm going to say this. I'm going to sit up here because this has been on my mind for a minute right now.
Yep.
When it comes to the Lakers fandom, we have Laker fans and we have LeBron James fans that are Laker fans.
Very true.
That are looking at Evan Mobley and Darius Garland over there in the Cavs and envisioning a kind of another round with the Cavaliers and like, well, that's looking mighty good right now. I'm gonna just tell anybody that's like that, y'all can kick rocks, y'all can go, because I'm from the old school. I grew up with is the name on the front and not the name on the back, and players come and go. I've seen Kobe, I've seen Magic, Kareem, I've seen Shaq, I've seen all these people take off and leave, and we still are the Lakers. So if anybody decides they want to go because they do not like how Jeannie Buss is running her team, and they feel that LeBron James should have autonomy and all the decisions and get none of the blame, I'm sorry, man. There's no room here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's about the Lakers and Lakers first. Everybody else is second. Everybody's going to come and go. And that goes for LeBron or anybody else. When Kobe said he wanted to play on Pluto, I didn't like it. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, Luol Deng might be kind of good. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just
maybe back then.
I'm just went back then. I'm trying to justify this stuff because I'm like, I can't root for anybody that want to be on my team. You know what I'm saying? And I can't see anybody like that rooting for the team that we root for.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about with Kobe. See, Kobe, you understood what Kobe was talking about.
I understood that.
Because they literally decided for like one season that they were going to tank, and Kobe was like, what are we doing? Because
he won't accept that even one season.
Well, the main reason why he didn't want to accept it was because he had a conversation with them, and they told him this is what our vision is, and then they basically lied to him. So he was like, well, no, y'all
understand the circumstances, brother.
Right.
What I'm saying is, at the time of you saying you don't want to play for the team, I go into battle mode, and I'm like, okay, it's the Lakers versus everybody.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yes, because I know we're going to attract the next player. I know we're going to get the next person. When you're young, when you're 20 some odd years old and you only been on this earth for only 20 years, you think it's the end all be all. Like, we got to keep this guy because we can't think as far as we can. We've been Laker fans for almost our whole lives. We've seen him come and go. Mm-hmm. That's why it's disheartening when I'm hearing all these people are LeBron James fans more than they are with the Laker fans. And I just don't get that. And especially for my franchise. It's the Lakers. It's not about him helping out.
Real Laker fans follow the team, not the players.
You haven't been on Twitter.
Appreciate the players.
You haven't been on Twitter? Because there's a lot of those LeBron James fans on Twitter.
Money Mike never
the biggest one right there.
I mean, I like LeBron. What I'm saying is I don't like people putting player over team.
Okay, deal. All right, deal. I would like to say one team, and I just want to get your reaction. You just get a couple words, Stat Pat, Money Mike. The Sixers. Stat. You got like 2 or 3 words.
Hey, they're going to do good.
Okay. Sixers, Money Mike.
You know what's crazy about that? Did you hear that they're
you only get a couple words?
Well, I'm giving you a couple words. Did you hear that they're trying to get D'Antoni over there?
Oh,
did you hear about that?
There's a rumor back to Harden.
Yeah, because Harden's over there now, and he's trying to get
that would work. Well, I believe
they are going to ruin Embiid.
Yeah, they will destroy his legs
far away from that
team. Right, absolutely. But I mean, it's really interesting. Well, the whole dynamic though, even between the Sixers and the Nets, Kyrie being a part-time player, Durant not being hurt, and Harden is there doing everything, complaining about both of them. But I guess Durant is the main star, and told the ownership Lee and Nash to leave Kyrie alone, and then that's why Harden was like, well, I'm out here busting my ass and we losing because you playing half part-time and you hurt.
All right.
And y'all blaming me.
Nets, Pat.
Sorry.
You're good. Nets.
Oh, well, the Nets, I think they're I don't know. I think they can work with Ben Simmons. I mean, because obviously he's gonna be passing it and he doesn't have to be on the perimeter. But now you have kind of like you have Kyrie being a point guard, you have like a point forward. So I don't know. One stat that people, I don't know if they realize that the big three of Harden, KD, and Irvin played only 16 games together.
Yes.
They were 13-3.
No, look, absolutely.
I mean,
but look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
That is so wild to me that they blew it up. They blew it up.
But look, the Nets right now, they got Seth too. Don't forget.
Yeah, they do.
Seth is over there too.
Yeah.
So now you got Ben Simmons who plays great defense and gets assists and doesn't want to score. Seth is a great perimeter shooter. I mean, he's not Steph, but Seth will work.
Oh yeah.
And we still got Kyrie part-time and KD. I mean, I think they could be definitely a contender. I think that's a great move for the Nets.
If anyone on Clubhouse has anything to say about the trades here, we're talking about the Nets, we're talking about the Sixers, because there's absolutely nothing to talk about with the Lakers in trade. So if you have anything, go ahead and tap your mic. Did this change your thoughts on NBA titles or chances there, Stat? With these squads?
I think to me, I'm on, like I said, I like a dominant big man and a nice perimeter player. Like I like it's giving me,
a la Kobe Shaq.
Yeah, it gives you that kind of vibe.
And that's what they have.
That's kind
what
of
the
that
Sixers
vibe.
have.
And
so you like what the Sixers did.
And everyone else pitches in, but we know the two heavy lifting, which they are capable of.
All right.
Whereas not a lot of people are going to be asking to, eat.
I mean, look, you literally have Harden that once he gets 30 from the outside, and then he beat that
30 points.
Did we get anyone on Clubhouse tapping?
Yeah. Ivan, let me hear from you, Ivan.
It's unmute.
I have a question for y'all.
There you go.
Who do you think won that trade?
Man.
I think the Nets.
I think the Nets won the trade because they got Seth.
Yeah, I think the Nets. Because Harden was unhappy anyway, so they traded Harden even though he's a scorer, but they don't have to worry about points on that squad. They have scorers. So I think the Nets. What do you think, Stat?
Actually, I think the Sixers won.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I think that Harden. Look, everyone can critique his game, and I do a lot, but just that combination of taking the scoring pressure off of Embiid and having to worry about him just destroying everybody in the middle, and then you have Harden outside just working from out. I just think it's going to be a lot of that. Now, of course, the defense, they got to worry about that, and Simmons do give a lot of defense to the Nets. But for my personal favorite, I think the Sixers won that trade. But that's just me.
All right. Anybody else on Clubhouse, go ahead and tap your mics, of course. We'll let you hop on the show. That's what this is about. The Profanity Nation podcast is about the voice of the professional fan. So you can join the show. We love it when you do. Okay, so we're talking about the NBA. We're talking about the landscape of the NBA. We touched a little bit on East and West. Money, has the power shift officially happened? Has the East taken over as the favorite, at least the stronger, more dominant conference right now?
That's a good question. I mean, the thing about the East is it's top heavy, then it's nothing, right? So you have three teams.
It drops off quick.
Milwaukee, Philly, and the Nets. After that, Chicago. They're not there yet, right? So we still have a little bit more. We could go to top six teams in the West still, but those top three over in the East are pretty tough.
Okay, and who are the top three right now in your mind in the West? We know the top three are easy in the East. Who are your top three in the West?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I hear Money say
the legit top three, not necessarily just because that's their record right now. Right. Who are your legit top three?
Well, that's what I was going to say. When I hear Money says that the West is, when the East is top heavy, well, then you got to say the same thing about the West, because I'm looking at, I don't believe in Utah. I don't believe in Denver. I don't believe in Dallas. I don't believe in any of these teams that are 3 through 10 are not really teams that I see that can make it. There's only the Suns and the Warriors. I mean, that you would think that would come out of the West. Anybody else, and if anybody else is from the West can upset any of those two, it would have to be the Lakers, because we just have the star power. Other than that, it ain't gonna be nobody else. That's where I'm looking at the East, and I do see Milwaukee as the champs. I see the Sixers. You still got the Nets. Don't sleep on the Cavs. I mean, a young upstart Cavs team is really putting in work. A lot of people not sleeping on the Cavs with Darius Garland. You got Mobley, you got Allen. You got a lot of good players on that team. Also DeRozan. I mean, if Caruso didn't get hurt, I would be like, there would be one of our dark horses. But to me, I think the Eastern Conference right now is a stronger conference than the West. only because it's only the Warriors and the Suns in the West for me.
Okay. As we wind down here, guys, I'd like to talk about really quick the Warriors. You brought them up. Clay's back, of course, and he's starting to get his rhythm back. Are they a true threat?
Yes.
Are they? Are you feeling like
Yes.
they're a threat like they were in the past?
100%.
Or getting back money?
I mean, look, they've been there before, so
They're definitely not afraid.
they're pretty much the same team. Like they literally actually
Right.
brought the championship team back.
Yeah, and just
They're a little older, but they're the same team. They know what to do.
They're older, but the way they play, they can accommodate that.
Well, that's my point. Like they brought Iggy back. They brought I can't think of his name. Other guy.
I don't know. You're
I can't
losing
think
it.
of his
You're
name.
losing it, Money Mike.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Either
I'm
way,
sorry,
you
it's been
think
a long day.
they're competing
Yeah,
and you like
listen,
their game.
Golden State absolutely could go to the finals this year because they have all the pieces, and then those pieces have been together, and those pieces have won a championship already.
Stat, I would say if there's one team that isn't already at their peak or already accomplishing what you'd expect them to, the Lakers have to do more, but we pretty much think the Lakers have done what they're going to do, what we're going to see. We actually believe with Golden State, there's still room for growth because of the return of Clay. They could actually still get better and a lot better as they had this season before they get to the playoffs. Is that right? You feel?
Yeah, I think they can. They like Mike was saying, they have the continuity. They've been there before. They know how to play together. Draymond and Curry and Clay, they work seamlessly together. There's still people out there that actually try to convince me that that picking Wiseman over LaMelo was still the best thing to do. And I don't know. I think that take is looking worse by the day. Like, it doesn't even make any sense how that team would look if Ball was on that team right now.
And if you remember, I said, dude, it's scary. If they get LaMelo.
And they didn't want to do that. They felt that they needed to play. They needed to play a game that's not their game. And that's why it was kind of uncharacteristic for them. You play your game, you put the foot on the gas, that's what you do. You go ahead and you go 100 miles per hour every game. Then why are you going to try to slow it down or at least try to have that big man present? I mean, Draymond is doing what he's doing, and he's been doing it for the longest time right now.
Look, I'm happy because obviously they're in the West, but I said it though. I said, look, one thing Curry does not have is defense, and LaMelo does, right? So they would have been able to hide him, and then now you're literally just alternating between Clay and LaMelo. You're not losing. Obviously, as you can see, LaMelo was All-Star this year.
Yeah.
You're not losing.
He's playing great.
You're not losing anything.
All right, guys. So every show we end the Profanity Nation podcast with a segment we like to call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. Money Mike is going to go ahead and share his thoughts or opinions on a topic, and he just wants to know, is he in bounds or out of bounds? Money Mike, you got the mic.
I think everybody gonna agree with me with this, man.
He says that every
no,
time.
no. For real. Sometimes I wonder. I think everybody gonna agree with me.
All right, let's go.
So my guy AD, Eric Dickerson.
Yeah,
you guys hear about him?
Yes.
You heard about him back?
No, talk to me.
So Eric Dickerson was sitting around there, was asking him, if for those of you guys know who Eric Dickerson is, he was the all-time Russian leader for no, not Russian leader, but for a single season record that just got broke, I think, like a year ago, but it was up for over 20 years.
Played for the Rams.
Played for the Rams. He's legend. The Rams. The Rams. Eric Dickerson goes on and has an interview and says that he's going to watch the game at home because the Rams only offered him a seat in the 400 section.
Nosebleeds, he said.
And so he said that he did not want to be a distraction, and he did not want to make it about him. So he was just going to go home. When I heard that, I said, wait a minute. First of all, dude, if you wanted to have better seats, you could buy you a better seat. You got enough money, number one. Number two, you are making it about you because you're telling out publicly that the Rams offered you a seat in the 400 session.
It's always
so. If you're not gonna make something about you, why would you go 2 days before Super Bowl and say the Rams are giving me seats that I think that should have been better, and you don't want to make it about. Am I out of bounds for that dude to say he's lying and he definitely wanted to make it about him to try to get better seats for the Super Bowl? Am I out of bounds for saying I'm going to go straight to Clubhouse? Crispy, you got my back. You know, am I out of bounds for saying that this Eric Dickerson was just trying to get better seats for free?
Nah, man, I think you completely in bounds, Money Mike. He was trying to come up, man. I can't blame him. I probably would have did the same move.
Yeah. But I mean, but like I said, don't be like it ain't about me when it is about you, man. Anybody else? Ivan, you have an opinion on it?
Ivan, you there? There we go.
I think that's crazy, man, that he really went out like that. Like, I don't know. I think you're inbounds about it. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Hey, Lakers, you there? I think you're not there. All right, hey, Stat Pat, am I out of bounds?
Nah, man, you in bounds, dude. You in bounds, man. He did make it about him. At the same time, you know,
what's up, Rams?
It's Eric Dickerson.
What the hell?
You can't get my
one or
man
two
better
tickets?
ticket than that.
You can't get the man in a suite?
The season,
come on,
he
SoFi's
has
filled with suites.
Eric Dickerson has the most rushing yards in his season for that franchise. Forget the NFL. Yes, it's been broken by the NFL, but still for the Rams, he's still the leader in the clubhouse. You mean to tell me they can't give him in that house to give him a better seat than the 400 section? 400. I've been in the 400, bro. Okay, you barely can look at the inner ring when you're in SoFi, all right? So you need to be down at least a little bit, like get closer to the lower bowl.
Suites,
The
everything.
suite. I mean, come
You
on.
thought he would have been there part of all the events and everything.
You would think so.
Look,
an ambassador.
On the field, you know, being recognized.
That's whack by the Rams. Dude. That's whack. But that's the Rams for you. The Rams.
All right, so it's the Rams. I say you're inbounds because he's definitely looking for the attention, but the Rams deserve to be called out on it. So I don't necessarily hold Eric Dickerson like responsible. I say no, they deserve to be called out on it because that is right cheesy right there.
Well, I don't have a problem with him calling them out. I have a problem with saying it ain't about
him.
Yeah,
you know it's about him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, because I called them out.
It's so true.
You know, call them out, but make it about you and own that. And let me just say,
I want some extra. I want better.
I want some attention on this.
I want some.
I want to let y'all know who I am, and I want people to start Googling.
You ain't forgot.
Find out
who I was.
If you ain't never heard of me, right?
Right.
But let me just add one more thing to that. I obviously, because I did the halftime show, have been on that field. Let me tell you, when you look up, you can't see 400 sections, 500 sections. You cannot even see those seats from the field.
No,
I promise you can't.
See,
I've looked up and I was like, I can't see that top row. That's how high they are.
So how can they see the field?
That's
from
how high they are.
That's funny. That's awesome. Well, you know what? The Rams are the Rams, but they have won. They are this year's Super Bowl champions, so we can celebrate that. LA
Congratulations,
has another
Rams.
title.
They got and people out here in LA. They have fireworks going off.
We can hear them from our new studio. We're only about 7 miles east of Los Angeles over here, so we're not too far. Everybody's celebrating on our way into the studio. Yeah, like you said, you can hear the fireworks and everything.
And everybody that did sporting goods getting all their gear.
Bro,
it's crazy.
Already, right?
Everything's looking. Man, what I did notice though, I noticed over the past 2 weeks, man. There's a lot of brand new. It was a brand new. It's like it's straight out the box, right? They were popping the tags off. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I know. I wear a hat. So I know a fitted. I know a clean fitted hat when I see it. And it was like, man, you ain't brand broke your
gear.
bill. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't wearing that hat, man. You just barely wore that hat, man. So I don't know, man. I mean, shout out to the Rams. I mean, I'm happy for the city. That's how I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy for the city.
I'm happy for the city, and I got a lot of friends that are around. So
if it wasn't the Raiders, at least we brought it home to LA, right?
Yeah, you know, I'll give them that. You know, only thing I'm mad at, the Raiders can't say anymore that we're the only team that brought a championship to Los Angeles. So
you
we can't have that anymore. That would just be our claim to fame. But now we got to fall back.
Goodness.
Well, we can say we're the first. All you got to do is say this.
Yeah, we got to fall back.
Yeah, that's all right.
We got to fall back now.
All
right. I'd like to thank one of our sponsors. I'd like to thank Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center out in Chatsworth, California. They are awesome. They take care of us. They take care of the show. They make all this possible. They help us get this show out every week. So be sure to stop by the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center in Chatsworth. They have have everything you need to chill out. Stizzy's, Raw Garden, you name it. They have their brands. You definitely go by there, say hi, and let them know the Profanity Nation sent you. Other than that, thank you, everybody. Thank you to the Los Angeles Lakers fan club, as usual on Clubhouse. To everybody listening to the podcast right now, be sure to sign up on the Los Angeles Lakers fan club. That's how you can join the show. That's how you can be part of the program. Be sure to follow and subscribe to the Profanity Nation podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you stream your shows. All you have to do is say, hey, stream the Profanity Nation podcast, and we're there. We're live every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m., and you can find us right here. So be sure to join us next week. This is our new studio. It's going to keep getting better and better, but you can find us right here and join the show. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Money Mike. Thank you, Step Pat. We're really happy to be here. Thank you, Los Angeles Rams. Thank you to our engineers on the other side. We really appreciate it. Profanity Nation, we out.
We out.
Peace.
Profanity Nation. Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town. Yeah,
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.